decade ago, I was a lot like that Lee Moriarty kid. I was a lot like a lot of the kids in the AEW locker room. I was young, I was angry, I was poor, I had nothing to lose, and I took a shot at taking down the great American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. We're at a little indie show in Chillicothe, Ohio. You were late. Your flight was delayed because of the weather. So they sent Tracy Smothers out to the ring to vamp with the audience for about 45 minutes. And so finally I went to the ring, and then you pulled up in the back of the building, already in your wrestling gear, and you got out of the car, and you walked through the kitchen to the ring, stepped through the ropes. It's the first time we met, and I stood face to face, eye to eye, with the man they called the best wrestler in the world. And I gave everything I had. That night I went balls out. I fought tooth and nail, but I came up short. But getting a taste of the best just made me meaner, just made me angrier, just made me want it more. And over the years, I had more shots at Bryan Danielson. And every single time, I came up short. In fact, I have never beaten Bryan Danielson. It's true. So when you showed up in AEW, everyone else was scared. Everyone else was intimidated by the greatest wrestler that ever lived, but I was excited. Finally, I would get a chance to put the one hat on my wall I've never got to put up there. I would get a chance to slay the one dragon I could never slay, no pun intended, the American Dragon. But as it turns out, Bryan Danielson doesn't want to fight me. Bryan Danielson wants to join forces with me. And I was listening to you a couple weeks ago. I listened to every single thing you said. I'm not gonna lie, I got to thinking how awesome it could be. All the arms we could snap, all the skulls we could cave in, we could create a dream team, a dynasty of unmitigated, pure wrestling violence. And then I got to thinking, just like you were saying, not just about the destruction we could cause, but about what we could create. The young guys we could take along with us. Giving something back to this business, giving something back to AEW, the legacy we could leave. And I'm not gonna lie, no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't think of one good reason to say no. But then I got to wonder, and I wonder maybe it's the only reason Bryan Danielson wants to stand side by side with me, because he doesn't want to find himself in the one place nobody in AEW wants to find themselves, standing across the ring from Jon Moxley. Because he knows I would do to him what I've done to everybody else they've put in front of me for the last 3 years. And if that's the case, well, then I've already beaten Bryan Danielson. So which is it? Does Bryan Danielson want to be my partner because of what we could create? Or because he doesn't want to get destroyed? Let's find out. I'll leave it up to you, Bryan. I'm not saying yes, but I'm not saying no. I'll leave it up to you. Bryan, I am not that young kid from a decade ago, and seeing as how, for all intents and purposes, we are meeting each other for the very first time here in AEW in 2022, I'll tell you this. I don't stand side by side with nobody till I bleed with them first.
feel that one, man. And the fans can feel it. I'm sure you at home can feel it. The potential of one of the great one-on-one matchups, Tony, that we could have ever witnessed.
Profound comments from Scott Moxley.
He thought that through before he